Cebuanos Filipinos continue to thrive wherever they are all over the world. Catch a glimpse of their adventures as they explore and experience the world and share experiences with Filipinos living abroad. Join us and travel the world through their eyes with Attorney Divine Marshall Flores live from New Brunswick, Canada, and Tony Ortega live from British Columbia, Canada. This is CCTN International Pinoy Journeys.
Good morning Cebu. Welcome na usab sa atong tulumanon CCTN International Pinoy Journeys. Ako na usab si Divine Marshall Flores, live gikan diri sa New Brunswick, Canada.
Ug ako na usab si Tony Ortega, live gikan sa probinsya sa British Columbia. Maayong buntag Cebu ug maayong hapon Canada.
Yes, unya sa tanan nga nagtan-aw nato karon Brad Tony no all over the world tungod kay gawas nga live ta sa CCTN 9:30 Philippine time karong buntaga, live sad ta sa Facebook, YouTube, no? So sa mga Filipinos abroad nga nagtan-aw karon, mayong adlaw, mayong hapon, mayong gabi kaninyong tanan. Karong gabi una Brad Tony, medyo exciting sad og interesting kaayo ning sunod nato nga guest. Kay gikan sa Canada last week, nga diin gikan sa Saskatchewan ang atong guest, nihigayon na moadto ta sa New York.
Tinuod na Attorney Divine murag sukad sa pagsugod nato sa atong programa, murag nagkalayo ang atong pagpadapaingnan. Spoko muna nga murag nagtuyok na ta sa tibuok kalibutan karon tungod sa programa og magbasalabat ta sa internet.
Yes, correct. Unya, ang kining atong sunod nga guest actually sa Cebu, journalist ni siya, no? Kaning sunod nato nga guest, dugay ni siya nga journalist sa Cebu. In fact, usa sad ni siya sa mga host, no, sa usa sa mga programa sa CCTN for 7 years. I think ang ato mga televiewers makailag yun ani niya, and then nagstay na siya or nagpuyo na siya sa New York for 15 years already. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome ang atong guest karong buntaga. Atong i-welcome kay daan na ni siya nga taga CCTN, si Miss Maribel Montibon. Very good morning or good evening diha sa New York.
Hello. Maayong gabi diri sa New York and maayong buntag Cebu. Hello, Vine and Tony. Thanks for having me.
Yes, excited ka ani nga maminaw sa imong journey. Imagine 15 years ya Brad Tony niya. Kanang New York, di ba sa kanta na maunay syudad nga di matog. Busy kay
yeah.
Is that true?
Tulog-tulog.
Okay. So, atong unahon Brad Tony sa pagpangutana si Maribel before siya niadto sa US, ang iyang nature sa trabaho sa Cebu.
Tinuod na Divine, curious sa kay ko nga makahibaw niya kay sa atong nahiisa sa ikaw manggay mo'y nakailan niya, murag ang iyahang journey usa siya ka journalista diha sa Cebu niya. Murag curious ko kay kita man siguro, pero it's a good thing to know ug unsa di atong journey sa tagsa-tagsa.
Yes, tinuod na. Yes, verse nagsugod ka ang imong yung trabaho, first love gyud nimo ang pagsuwat.
Yes, ako yun ang passion, Vine. It's not a profession. I realized it's a passion. So it's actually my journalism work or journey started pa ni adtong college ko sa University of San Carlos. I was with the campus paper, Today's Carolinian. And pag kaning mo sulod na kag-college, I had told my father, my late father sa una na I wanted to take up journalism. Pero wala yun ni sugot si Daddy Vine ug Ton kay katunga time it was kanang pamatyo ng mga journalist ba panahon man to ni President Marcos. So my father would say, "Ngano mag-journalist ba ka? That's a very risky job." So wala gyud ko kay kanang kamagulangan kang anak, so ilang sila magbuot nimo niya. Wala pa man sa kay hanaw sa kalibutan. You will just have to follow what they tell you. So I enrolled at USC. Ang akong kurso was first accounting because my parents wanted me to become a business person, masunod nila and all that. Pero bulok man kay ko og numbers. So I was so miserable. So ko nga paitaan ni kunya kanang magkalisod naman ng accounting, no, mag-debit credit na ka, mag-analyze na ka. Kanang mag-uol na gid ko. So at one point I wrote to my father, drama ka ito Vine, na ko nga I have to transfer. Kung dili ka gusto mo mukuha ko journalism, dili lagi ko mag-accounting. So what I did was I shifted to psychology. And so, unya at that time at San Carlos, ni-open ang Today's Carolinian, which is the student paper. So ni-apply ko. There were 200 applicants and I was one of the 20 who got in. So mo na to, I was happy. I got out of my accounting course and I became a campus journalist. I was first year, 17. So malipayon kay Guad to Vine, I was exercising my happiness, my joy, interviewing people, mga janitor, mga presidente sa USC. I was happy. I was doing what I wanted.
Pero ni-graduate you guys sa psychology?
Yeah, I finished psychology, Vine.
Pero pag-graduate mo, diin man ka ng, unsa may mong first job?
Well, I was a correspondent for a Manila News Bureau. It was Philippine News and Features. Wala na ni siya. It closed. And then I was a stringer sa Inquirer, sa Manila Standard. So that was my initial But I was very, it's a perky job. It's also a risky job. It has its perks and its risks. So I enjoyed every moment of it.
So after that, mao na tong nisod na ka sa The Freeman.
Yeah, nisulod ko sa Freeman. Actually, I was like a kanang contributor, correspondent. And then when kay kuan man to, bag-ura kong, naman to, mubo raman kay itong time nga after college, I got married and then I had a child. So I had to, maglisod man ko og balance nga, take care ka sa imong anak and then you're also running around the community to write stories. So I had to focus on raising Nikki. That's Nikki sa among ngayon, the little girl, nag-princess. So, mo na to, when she was at kindergarten, well, balik na ko sa newsroom. I was with Freeman. And so, pag mo naman to kinder, so her class would end at 3. Dalho na siya sa yaya dito sa newsroom. And so her environment was the newsroom as well. So, mao na akong nahimong.
So for how long? Yes, Brad.
Ano sa ka nagsugod sa Freeman? Onya na-curious ko ma'am kay ingon magug ka ganina nga pailabot ang istasyon nani nga pangutana ko ako to lang iklaro kay ingon magug ka that time nga interesado ka nagsugod ka about journalism niya ang imong daddy di mo sugot unsa to kay kada time pamatyon, it was the time of Marcos. Na curious ko mo.
No, it was the time of I was in college in 1980. Balaan to edad ani ba? Kuan kanang 1983. 83. I got in. This was pa. Yeah, 83. This was the time when Ninoy Aquino was murdered. Or was killed. So gubot kay Pilipinas adto. And so I was like, ningon pa yun ko nga, daddy magkuan ko journalist. So gipugnan jud ko sa kuamahan. Never, don't go to that job because unsa man na kuan ka ng risky kaayo na. So he was protecting me.
But pag-sugnan nimo sa Freeman, wala na siya objection.
No, because I was already married at that time.
Okay.
Yeah, wala na ko sa poder ni daddy. So I could do what I want.
So during the time nga sa Freeman ka, that was the time also nga nagkupot kag program sa CCTN.
No. I was with Freeman straight mga 7 years. And then after my Freeman stint, that was when I was with DYLA. I was holding a journalism work for Women's Feature Service. O kani
Okay.
siya, na picture mo na siya ang last program before I came to the US. I remember that Stella and our guests are from the group of, oh my God, I forgot the group.
Mo ni siyang sa CCTN.
JCs ba na? Oh, not JCs.
Mo ni siyang sa CCTN.
CCTN. Yeah.
Na babae.
CCTN.
Babae niya.
Gosh, I forgot the name of the group. Sorry. Dugay na yun kayo na ba? Hindi na ko katimaan.
So ang program niyo that time was babae.
Yes, that was our program. We ran that. Me and Stella, I produced that, and Stella and I worked together on it. 7 years po na Vine, but the last 2 years of the show was si Stella na yung nagpadagan, and I was here in the US. I was helping her in a way, but most of the time she's the one holding the show. And she had Joy Pisquera to co-host with her.
Yeah, babae. I remember that.
So mo na siya, and dinhin ako na ning kamot sa akong life sa Amerika. And I still maintain contacts in the Philippines sa atong mga amiga, mga old friends. So kuan kanang very very, I'm still rooted. I'm still establishing links diha sa atoa.
But at that time ba maayo ang imong nag-work ka sa Cebu unya nakahimo ka sa imong first love gyud no nga nga magsuwat, but what made you decide nga mo settle sa US?
Well, it was a difficult situation. I have by the way a 10-year tourist visa na akong nang acquire pod kay my first book, which was Retracing Our Roots, was published by a Cebuano publisher. His name is Edwin Villaver. So he created his publishing house, and we have this membership with the National Book Development Board, which is a government entity. So at that time, the NBDB was having an exhibit to showcase Filipino authors in the US. So ang akong book, The Retracing Our Roots, which was my first book and about the Cebu history, where I wrote about Maxilom, my great-great-great-grandfather. I am so honored to be part of his lineage kasi si Maxilom, I don't know if you've heard of him, Van. Kaniban si General Maxilom.
General Maxilom.
He is my on the side of my father. He is my relative. So ako nang gisulat in my book. And so that book has been exhibited in Canada and in the US for the centennial celebration of the Philippines, katong freedom nato from the Spanish colonial rule. So that was how I got my tourist visa.
Okay.
It was 10 years. So I had that. I was going in and out of the Philippines, visiting my mom and grandma. So there was an event in my life that was very painful and shocking. Until now, it has not been resolved. Kaya na murder man akong husband. This was a politically motivated situation. He ran for public office under Bayan Muna, which you know is a left-leaning organization. And so, nainit na kaito, nisuko siya na wala siya nakadaog. He had his votes recounted kaya napildi man siya. So local politics got so messy, and so he was murdered. So mooto na nahadlo ko for my life, and I had to flee to be here. But I did not really think that it was so bad. Pero niingon lang ko sa akong anak ug sa akong sister ni daddy pod na let me just go to the US. I want to have a little rest kay kanang kuan kay ko ug tas kay ko ba after what happened. And I was thinking of course coming back because Nikki was in Cebu and she was graduating. But then ang life was ang akong amiga nga lawyer Vine told me na why don't you apply for asylum? And so which I did, and it was approved. So moto nga nakuan ko na relocate ko diri, na transplanted ko sa US, which was for me a providential situation because I think gihimo to sa akong bana nga protektaran me.
Yeah.
So when Nikki was when she finished her high school, nianhin na siya din eh. So because on an asylum you can bring in your immediate family members. So I will show you a book, Vine, ako ning giandam. Para sa details ani akong journey din he. My first book that I wrote here in New York is Biting the Big Apple. Promote ako ha. This is on Amazon. You can get this from Amazon. So the details of my 5-year experience, which
journey
includes coming here, naa din he. It's on Amazon, but wala na siya sa Cebu or Philippines kasi wala may Amazon dito.
Okay. So,
mangutan ako nimo ma'am, pag-promote nimo sa mga curious ko ana ma'am da. Pag-promote anang imong libro, naki-coordinate ka na sa consulate office diha.
At that time, wala pa. I thought of writing my book and I launched it within my circle of writers din sa New York. Because gawa sa Filipino-American Press Club, I also was a member. I used to be a member. Karon wala na ako na-renew membership. I was with the National Writers Union. This is the biggest independent writers organization in the US. So mga journalists na sila, mga lain-lain nga mga race, mga lain-lain, black, white, Asians, all over the US. So this was my support group at that time when I launched my book. Pero Ton, when I did my second book, which was published by the University of San Carlos, which is on human trafficking, ako na po ipakita, Vine, ha?
Daghana naman dahil ni mo og libro.
Promote na jukog tamas ginawa. This is In the Belly of the Beast. This is published by the University of San Carlos. You would know Professor Jojo Bersales, right? Yeah, of San Carlos. So he came here to raise funds to help reconstruct the churches of Bohol katong grabe ang earthquake.
Pag 2013.
Yes, and so we met, and so I was with him. I toured him around. So ingon siya, unsa may gibuhat din he, blah blah blah. Paghimog libro. So I said, I do paralegal writing as well. So I'm not a paralegal, but I do the affidavits. Mostly our clients are mga survivors of human trafficking. So kanaang mo ang libro because he was proposing for me to write mga success stories of Filipinos in New York. And when I gave him my background nga, I am with a legal company, a law firm. So insya kana na lang. So this was the product of it. So I'm so happy. And in answer to you, Ton, this was launched at the Philippine Consulate in New York.
In US.
So this book, in New York. So na-picture akong gi-send ana, but it's okay kung di malocate sa...
One thing, ma'am, nga nangutana ko nimo kay as we talk, I have something in mind nga i-launch na nato sa Canadian.
Dinha sa?
Sa Canada.
Oh, sige,
because I am the founder of the Cebuano Society in Canada. We will make that project.
Correct.
Yes, sige. This is also in Amazon. So Amazon can be accessed sa North America and Europe. So walay problema. They can buy it.
Okay. So, pag abot na nimo diha sa US, dili ba pait ang life nakuha na nimo imong anak, no? And then it's not that easy. So kuan biya ka solo parent. Inya
Yes.
wala ka sa atong wala ka sa atong country, no, naa ka sa New York. Kumusta ang life?
Pait kayo. Super pait ang life. You have to, like when Nikki came, she was to enter college. So, ani na jud ko ani mabutbut akong nauna. Okay, malabang gastuon. But I had to work. I had to do a lot of jobs na nagtrabaho ko sa immigration office, sa law office, immigration law office. And also, I had to do jobs like kanang magbantay og tigulang, kanang caregiving.
Caregiver.
So I had an agency who placed me in mga houses of maybe old people. So that was the work that I had. I had to do writing, journalism, immigration writing, journalism, and then caregiving work para I can respond to our financial requirements.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, looking back, and kung akuyawa sa dato, kung gibuhat mura man tug ka ng kuskus, sayaw gid og tamas ginawa, especially at the time when Nikki was in college. So it was hard. But then you look back and so like, time flies, and perhaps I maintained an attitude nga kanang kuan lang yun, sulong lang yun, and then pray and have the right kind of friends who will help you, and the same manner as you help them too.
Okay. So while naa mo sa New York, unsay biggest challenge nga imong nasugatan?
Daghan. It's a usual challenge to be able to cope with paying tuition. Pero that picture, Vine, go back to that other one. That one is the book launch of In the Belly of the Beast. That's the Philippine consulate. Naadi na si Jojo Bersales, si Father Vice President for Finance, and the people that I am with there are kanang mga survivors na sila of human trafficking. So they are there.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them are our friends too. So mo na siya. Anyway, going back. So the economics of it. Pero if you live according to your means, you won't have a hard time.
You'll survive.
I have always been a practical person. I never spend more than what I earn. In fact, I had to set aside money nga mag-save gyud ka. So that's my kaugalingong ethics in life. So somehow I survived that. But hisgutanan sa si Maria Ressa. Maria Ressa came to New York. Let me interject this. That's her and me. I was president of the Phil Press Club at that time. This was in 2018 and 19. This was 2019. And she was here to get her award from People magazine. Kay kuan man to siya ato kanang person of the year or one of the many persons of the year. So the press club invited her, and we're so happy that she responded to us. So in town, adto gyud na siya, was busy, was in traffic, and so she had a very deep discussion with us about what's going on in the Philippines. So this was the time also when her 1,000 Cuts was being filmed, and so daghan kay ko cameo atong 1,000 Cuts niya, Vine. You would see nga nagtapad mi, nagkaawa mi, nag-selfie. I was there. So our friends in the media was like, "Huy, Maribel, I saw you with Maria." And oh yeah, because she came to see us in New York. So anyway, that was one of the perks.
So
as well.
At least no napadayon nimo ang imong passion ba? Well, naa na ka sa US. Mo na nakadindot diha.
Yeah, well, you have to pursue it. Otherwise, mabulok man ta diri, mabugo ta. You cannot. There's no mental job. I'm used to this in college. So ganahan kay ko. And just hang on to your own principles as a journalist. be truthful, be fair and balanced. Ana lang. So
Pero-
I still went on with that.
Naman ko kayo
Yes.
mention ganina, ma'am, nga kanang it's not easy, kinahanglan mo maningkam of you ka in order for us to survive. Pero on the other side, nakita ba yun nimo ang unsa ka potential when it comes to opportunities nga atong i-pursue diha sa US? Kung maningkam
Oh,
ta gyud ta.
Yes, dinhi, if magtarong kag panginabuhi, you will reap your what you have sown, you know. You will harvest what you have planted. That's as far as I in my experience is concerned. So just work hard, be hold on to your principles, and you will get what you will be. Ang structures masagod dire is kind of fair, a little bit fair compared sa tua. So when you work hard, you earn money, you have savings. So it's just a little bit equitable compared sa tua nga maglisod gyud ka, no matter how hard you work, no matter how fast you dance, ang imong income di makakope sa cost of living. Here it's not that much. And also you just have to be very practical. Dili ka mag-splurge lagi, di ka mag-spend more than what you earn. So just hang on to that.
Okay. What about si Nikki? Pagkuha di mo naka-adjust siya, lahi biya kaayo diha kay sa life sa Philippines?
Right. Si Nikki was a teenager when she came in, 16. So she was very excited, but also sad, leaving behind her friends. And so she didn't like coming here. Gusto ra siya mo bisita, and then adto ra siya dito sa Cebu because life there had been very easy. Pero, you know, I didn't want that. Kay gusto ko magpuyog ni, kasi kami ra biyang duha. So we had a struggle. Struggle means suko siya kay dili. She wants to go back to high school. And said, why are you going back to high school? Enroll now in college because that's your, finish naman ka. So nagdabog to siya. She didn't like it. And now that she's gone, I've seen her point on that. Nga, kung ibalik siya, she could have adjusted perhaps a little better, given more time to establish friends and all that. So ako man sad, wala. I was very, very hardliner sa kay ko. I said, just bloom where you are planted. You are accepted in college. So why go back to high school? So ito among major yun na ito nga kanang clash. Eventually, she was in college. She enrolled media technology. And then this was also in 2012. She had cancer. She was diagnosed with the papillary thyroid cancer. So this cancer, according to doctors, would not metastasize. It's just there, but the thyroid must be taken out.
Okay.
So she was 20, we're going towards 20. And then going to your question, Vine, that was the most scary time of my life. Nga kanang gitawagan mi sa clinic, you know, when the clinic calls you, that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Usually di man na manawag ang mga secretary, but when they find out that there's a emergency sa results sa laboratory. So I was in Washington at that time because my office was at Washington, D.C., ang immigration law office. So I had to just drop everything. I told my boss, let me go home to New York. New York is like 4 hours by train. So so nilarga namin, nagkita dayon mi sa doctor the following day, wala pa ko'y tulog, wala. And we had to see the specialist sa thyroid. And so she told us she has cancer. And so that was the scariest time. Pero the doctor assured us na it's going to be okay. She will have this procedure, and which we did. We went through it. And in no time, Nikki bounced back immediately. So, padayon na to siya. She went back to her normal life. We went back to our normal life. And this was, so she was 20 at that time. And she was declared cancer-free 3 years ka. Every year, i-monitor man ka.
Yeah.
And then pag third year, nahuman na ang program kanang sa monitoring. So she had a new lease on life. That picture you saw nga naami sa Gantry Park, the one that you posted on Facebook, that was a happy day because that was the year, that was the time when she was given the pink bill of health after 3 years. So happy me. And life went on. She became, so ang among role, Vine, nakuha na, nabali na. Nikki entered the labor force. Unya, she worked. Unya, ako na po ni-enroll og pagka-estudyante. Right now, I'm pursuing my doctoral studies here in New York. So that one, that was the day when she was, we got out from the doctor and we were given a clean bill of health.
Muna happy kayo mo.
Dako kayo missing.
And then?
So where was I? Saan ko?
Okay
so
na.
She,
free na siya.
She became the earner for the family, for the two of us. So I was a student. I was still earning. I was writing, and we were running our online magazine, Awesome, which was actually she was the inspiration for doing that kasi she was with media. She has media technology background, so she knows how to create a website. She's very techy. So padayon to, we have little income from Awesome online magazine, but then unfortunately, when she was 26, nanapoy nahitabo sa iyang lawas nga weird. So she was so pale, so anemic. The doctors were trying to find out why. So sige, nagpa-blood transfusion to siya. But then mumubo gid gyapon iyang blood. So gitanaw iyang say tawag ini, iyang tiyan, iyang intestines. So there she was found to have an FAP, which is a strange, very rare kind of medical condition. It's familial adenomatous polyposis. It is a condition na ang imong intestine daghan kaing polyps, and the polyps are the ones causing you to be so anemic kay dili na makasulod ang mga nutrients kay mabara naman dito. And this was a precondition to cancer. And so pagkakita sa doctor, he was shocked. Ang nawong sa doctor was so shocked. So ingon sila, you have to take out the entire intestine so that to preempt cancer. So what she did, and pagkuha sa dako nga the whole part of her intestine, dito nakita na there was a big polyp which was already in stage 4 malignancy. So from then on, that was murag kuan na kay to horrible time for me. I couldn't understand. It was in fact told to us a day after Christmas. We were told to go to the doctor after the surgery, and we were told nga na to siya stage 4 malignant polyp. So practically the doctor actually ended her life and my life by saying that kay ang mahimo niyang program would be palliative. So meaning it's not going to be cured. So what na to, Vine? I was already dead at that time. I told you this, I was already just going through the motion of taking care of her, but I was scared, and sige glabad akong ulo. Sige, basta I was just being a mom and taking care of her the best way I can, but I was scared at that time kay stage 4 and colon na sa interior kay na sa tong lawas pa, and that's a very
Unsa man kuno causes ato?
nagpa-genetic test pa gyud me, and it doesn't come from my genes on my lineage, but ang sa iyang father dili man namo makuha ang side sa iyang dad kay wala naman iyang father no nya, wala man sa mga paryente din nga duol namo. So we just took it as that na it must have also come from the side of her dad.
Mhm. Okay.
So finally, Nikki, sige, questions, Avine?
Okay. Mo commercial break una ta. Ato nang tiwason sa pag-discuss no kay it's hard for a mother ba nga makita nimo imong anak nga ingon ana ang sitwasyon. I don't know. Siguro nakita ni Lord nga ingon ana sad ka strong no. Di ko ka-imagine ba giunsa nimo pag-manage. I think na mga mama nga naminaw nato karon nga the same situation sa imong na-experience. At least makahatag ang idea kung giunsa nimo pag-manage nga makita nimo ang sitwasyon sa imong anak. But before ta mo padayon ni ana, mo commercial break una ta sa atong pagbalik mo na atong hisgutan. Stand by.
Heal me, O Lord, and I will be healed. Save me, and I will be saved. Heal me, O Lord, and I will be healed. For you are the one I praise. You are the one I praise. Sing it with me.
Okay, balik ta Bradon sa atong tulumanon no para sa atong mga listeners, ang atong guest karon si Miss Mariver Montibon nga nag-base na karon sa USA sa New York. So ang atong gibiyaan nga pangutana Bradon no, na-diagnose ang iyang anak nga naa sa late stage nga cancer. As a mother, giunsa to, I don't know, giunsa nimo, that was the hardest part. I mean, ako,
Yes.
dili ko ka-describe kung unsay buhaton sa usa ka mama nga ang anak ma-diagnose og fourth stage nga cancer.
Yes, it's the toughest, the most painful experience that I have gone through. And I'm still grieving until now because, Nikki transitioned when she was 27. She passed away in my arms. And I saw her getting wasted by cancer. And I was all the time, wala ko mo give up for her. Although, kasi kita inahan, kanang we fight for our child. Kung pwede ihatag atong life, ihatag.
True.
So, ang first reaction ako when the doctor was saying na palliative care, dito ko na nahugno. Kay kung ingnon palliative, dili na maayo. And funny thing about this doctor was like, she said like, what is your job? Sabi ko, kay ngano ko no nakasabot po sa palliative. Ingko nga, so many siya. Ingko nga, nahibong siya ngano kasabot ko palliative. Ingko nga, so I explained to you that I'm a journalist and I know the meaning of palliative. Noon sa man to. So I was shocked. I was angry. I was shocked. And Anyway, so I told Nikki when murami gihilamusan Vine o nga ingon ka nga fourth stage and we will give you medication for palliative care. So gets mo na nga dili na mo cure so she is not going to be cured. And Nikki was there. She was like kahilakon nga namula nga nahugno sa iyang chair. So emotionally, I had to tell her, don't believe in her immediately. We will look for a second opinion. So ano na, made up na ang mind to resign. That she was so scared that gripped you and you're young. So kanang mula musukol man kog nga kinaiya. Nikki at that time was like really scared that she has been judged nga mainadto na siya.
Yeah.
And she was told 2 years, and we will work on this for 2 years. So what happens after 2 years? We will change medication. So ana ba? Pero makuha na nimo ang subtext sa doctor. That's the end of it. I was so angry. This was December 2008. And then so niuli me, and then I said, don't let that eat you. We will look for another doctor. So nangita na pod miglaing opinion, and so they have the same kanang prognosis unya kanang ang program nila for medication would be chemotherapy, and we'll see about that. So ana ba? So end stage na gito, pero ako Vine at that time I did not believe it because I thought she's really going to survive. Na we will hurdle this anak. Because I have pero lahi man gud akong mind nga I don't want to go through chemotherapy kanang muagi ta sa kanang naaman sa mga holistic programs gyud diri sa US nga massive sad kay pero mahal kaayo and not covered to be out of pocket kana private na gyud kay na nimo gasto kanang big insurance of pocket kanang mga holistic modalities. So, but then Nikki, she has her own mind. She was already 26 at that time. So she says she will go through all the Western medicine protocol. So, sige ko ka, murag mamatay ko sa kahadlok, labad akong Because I nag-write man ko sa una Vine og 2 ka articles na wala mo agi gid og chemotherapy ang mga patients, and then they got out of cancer ba. But it's just me. You don't have to believe in what I believe, So moto akong mindset. So moto among clash na po ni Nikki. But then of course she had to prevail because it's her body and she's of age na. So I went through with that. I gave her all the care, and so what we did was nag-balance me nga mukuha siya ng mga natural modalities kaning mga massive bitaw nga vitamins ba nga intravenous, the vitamin big dosages of vitamin C and B and all that to boost your system para mo fight ka sa imong cancer ug sa onslaught of chemotherapy as well. So we went through that. And she had a good fight. Oh my God, ang courage sa akong anak was very admirable. Maski mohilak to siya, manghibong siya inaana iyang sakit nga kanang gipanish ba daw siya sa Ginoo wa man nagkahimo baka siya dautan. Why was she experiencing all those things? So all this mag-swing me kaminduha. She would swing to being so sad, to being so angry and frustrated. And so I dealt with all that. I sucked it all up for 2 years. And then, ang ako lang ba, din sa New York, kaning sharp kaayo nga kasakit sa imong life, mawala imong only child.
Yeah.
God is there in the details. Because ang akong mga friends and family were also there for the both of us. I couldn't believe it. Nga, abi nato ang Amerika, kanya-kanyang life. Pero ang community ni rally around us baya. There was even a concert that was being organized for Nikki to raise money for her. And this was done by a Filipina singer, si Kirby, and her mom. Puro sila taga Visayas, taga Leyte. And then they did a concert at the consulate to raise money for her. And so, each time na yung inana, and also Nikki's friends, mga college friends niya, and the friends of her organization, kaya namin siya women's group, would check on her, visit her every day, and send anything, flowers, books, or whatever she wants to eat. Mag-order na sila o padala. So all these are great love para nako akong gi-accept, akong gidawat nga makahilak gihapon ko sa kailang kaayo. And during the time when Nikki was sick, she was really like, she got so thin, starting from 120, she became 75 pounds pagkawala niya. So grabe ang cancer. So I cannot, I do not show her when I cry. I cry when I wash dishes, kung maglimpyo ko sa banyo. I never showed her. I was devastated because kung hilak ko, maghilak namin dun ha, that wouldn't be good. That will be quashing her spirit and giving up. So I just went through the motion and you know, just tried to be there for her.
Ako
Sige,
di ko ka-imagine, Brad Tono, kanang unsa ang prayer ba sa usa ka inahan, unsa nga klase sa pag-ampo ang imong gihimo that time?
Ay, ang akong pag-ampo, Vine, moingon na gid ko sa Ginoo nga give her a chance. She's a young girl. Give her, itawid, palihog God, itawid mi, duha, palabanga mi ani nga problema. So, at one point at the hospital, sige man mi, for a span of 1 year, Vine, this was like we were in the hospital 5 times. That means every other month, gasulod mig hospital to manage her symptoms. So, katong October, we went Mount Sinai on the Upper West Side. Muna to ang last namo nga pagsulod because she transitioned on November 17, 2019. This was like a few months before COVID started.
Pandemic. Yeah.
So my friends, my 2 high school friends visited me, and I was discussing to them very, very kanang scientifically unsay nahitabo sa iyang lawas, kanang mao na ni ang nabuhat sa chemo, mao na ni ana. And so my friend, who's a nurse, a head nurse in her hospital, said, you know what, you don't want to go into that fear, you don't want to go into that fear or sadness. Go, yeah, you knew nga I don't go into that. I stop myself when I go into thinking nga mawala akong anak, umingawon ko pag-ayo niya. I stop my mind from there and I go to the mode of the fighting mode in me. So it was my defense mechanism. Pero you know what? I think my community of faith and the school that I'm in, which is a theological school, helped me to embrace my faith. Bisan unsa kasakit ang mahitabo, your faith will be your biggest energy. So, I don't know, nahibul mo share ganit ko sa klase na I don't know why God took away my daughter early. We don't have to bury our children. Pero may bulong gihapon ko why I'm not angry with God. Because I had other friends who lost their children. Nga wala na sila nangadji, Vine. They're mad. They don't call out to God. But I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. Na your will be done. That sunk into me. Ikumaude ni ang prayer nga your will be done. You have to, in all humility, you have to give it up to God because He knows what's best. I think so, because she passed away a month before COVID got crazy all over the world. Now, if Nikki survived that, and then I could not see her already, katong pagsugod na sa pandemic, that would be worse because she was in severe pain. Maghilak yun ba yun nga walay ka butangan nga pain kay mo ano na siya, mo kulob na siya, mo cat position na siya because of the pain. And I couldn't imagine nga kung na sustain pa to during COVID and I wasn't around, I definitely would go crazy.
True.
So pag tanaw na ko balik ko in God's perfect time gihapon.
True. Pero naka-realize no nga sa atong faith ba ni God, tuluan sa tanyag humility and acceptance.
Oh yeah.
No? Yes.
Tinuod because I am a very structured, organized person. I organize my day. Muna akong buhaton karong adlaw, muna akong to do, and then muna akong buhaton nga in a year, in a month, this is my project. I'm so organized. Like I take control. But kadto nga nahitabo, I wasn't in control. I was just going through the motion. And what can I do? So, every day I miss her. Na it's so fresh na it's just 2.5 years naman. Pero I was told the grief won't go away. It will just be there. It will stay with you. And it's true. Everything that I do, in fact, now is always like in honor, in memory of Nikki.
Pero wala mo abot sa imong time nga kanang murag na-discourage ka?
Oh yes, I have been. Actually, kaning pandemic na to, maka-feel ko na I wasn't as brisk as before na kanang mo go out of my way to cover a story and to write. Actually, wala na. Dili na kay Queen Anna Vine. I'm not so attached anymore to go out. But it just so happened nga nag-pandemic. So wala gyud activity. May gani kay puro na lang ta Zoom. Kay kung normal pa atong life, I wouldn't be the same. I know I wouldn't. I won't go out as much. Because, what's the use? I only have one child, kami ray bibo, maramig kanang super close. Niabot na sa age nga we are just parang muraramig igsuon nga mag-exchange og ideas, magtinabangay. And now it's gone. So right now I'm just doing what I have to do and not so crazy anymore about anything. Kasi lahi man ko nang wala imong anak, wala na kay inspiration to make an extra effort to do things.
Nakaabot ba mo sa imong sitwasyon karon nga nakapangutana sad ka nga God also has plan for her?
Oh yes. And life is not fair para ni Nikki for me. Kay bata pa mawala na. And so karon ang trend man gud nga mga kabataan mamatay sayo na mga cancer bata pa gani. So asa man na to i-analyze where is that coming from nga young people die of cancer. I think it's more also of our lifestyle, the kind of environment that we have, na toxic na kay mga food. Maybe starting from my pregnancy, I was already accumulating dili maayo nga food, na toxic na tong formation sa bata and all that. So,
daghang factors.
Yeah, daghang factors. Why are young people dying early these days? So, kana. And then, how do you wrap your head around in ana nga kasakit? So I look at it sa social, environmental aspect, and also again sa akong faith nga it's better to have an angel up there.
Correct.
Nga magbantay sa ako And so I'm happy mo. Di man gud ta we will only have to cling on to our faith. Kay kasi mahiubos ta sa Ginoo nga nung gawala siya, but then that's it. So you have to wrap your head that you have an angel who's taking care of you. And kung imong tan-awon man sa good, naanam sa good sa mindset ton na this life is transitional to a much higher, much better one. So you don't really actually lose the ones you love. They're always in your heart, and you keep thinking of them, and they become your inspiration. In fact, they become your heartbeat. They become much larger than when they were still around, because you look at the impact sa motherhood na nahitabo sa imo with my 27 years of Nikki having with me around. So you look at things on a bigger perspective. That's how ano lang siguro, I think I didn't have any major regret nga wala na ko siya gilove or kulang ko sa nakoy mga kakulangan, no, kay di man ta perfect, but I loved her as much as I could. So there's no regret on that.
I don't know kung nakakita ba na bataan ng mga naka-aware ba ka ng mga istorya nga na mga biktima po sa cancer nga gi-declare po nila nga totally healed gani sila?
Totally ill?
Totally healed. Naayod gud sila ba? Gi-declare
na-heal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
you know what? Mo na akong mindset nga maayo gyud si Nikki.
Yeah.
Mo na akong mindset. Even if it was fourth stage, and ayaw lang pag-intervene sa chemo, because chemo is a massacre of the good and bad cells. So how can you cope with, you also include the bad cells? So logic ang nagsukuan sa akong mind ni Ana. But she would not buy it. Di man siya muto. She would really go for the Western medicine. So wala na ko adto. Hands up na ang inahan. Kasi that was her.
Muna giingon nga, mas kinahanglan sa si Nikki sa heaven. So at least na kay angel. Diba?
Right. Yeah, sa isa ka eulogy, ang iyahang last employer wrote it. Vine, I'm gonna share it with you after this show. Nindot kaayo iyang eulogy. I published 4 or 5 eulogies in her honor sa among magazine. And so indeed, to create a balance, God has to take out mga tao din sa earth to create an equilibrium, especially now kay ang world is becoming so messy and topsy-turvy. He just needs a force that will make things a little bit even kay nagkagubot ang world. That's how she philosophized it. Although painful, we always just wrap around our head kung unsa atong mga philosophy in life to survive at our own misery.
Okay, sa gamay na lang tag nahibiling oras, but before ta mo mangayo sa imong parting message na ay imong mga close friends from New York nga gustong mo share, no, or mohatag ni mo message ato ni silang paminaw.
Marivir is one of the strongest, most resilient people I've known in my life. We go way, way back, starting out as struggling writers and editors at a newspaper in the Philippines. And I've always been amazed at how she makes things happen once she goes for it. From publishing books to hosting a television talk show to starting an online magazine in New York. I can't keep up with this woman. But above all, she is a mom with such fierce love for her Nikki. She's always been fascinated with and passionate about telling people stories and following their journeys. And so I am so happy that today she gets to tell you her own story. You will come away amazed and impressed at her strength and her courage. Marivir, I'm so proud of you and I love you.
Hi, Ver. You never knew nga muhatag day kong message nimo, right? Sa Attorney Divine Marshall is a good friend and a schoolmate in college, ni chat asking me nga kung pwede ba daw kong muhatag og message for you. Bitaw, Ver, we never really got the chance to know each other while we were both still in the Philippines, right? Unya, pareho pagyud ta old newspaper outfit. We bought work for the Freeman newspaper. Unya, casual hi and hello ragyud in town ta kanunay. Unya, to the fact nga atbang pagyud ta og kanang cubicle. But we were friends in Facebook. Moto nga when you knew that I'm coming to New York, na message ka nga, uy, nga rin na di ay kas New York, kita niya tapuhon. So, nagkita ta, unya, din hiragyod taon ta, nagkahibaw anay nga, ang ato di ang mga bana were former drinking buddies. Unya, kita sad, we have the same birthdays, June 13. Unya, from then on, sunod-sunod na dayo ng atong panagkitaay. Unya, nagka-strong na sa dayo ng atong friendship. So, I am just so lucky to have a very good friend, a wonderful friend. And then, I am so proud of all your achievements here in New York. And I'm so excited to call you Dr. Mariver Montibon D. Min soon. Love you, my friend. Amping kanunay.
Oh my God! Ka-nice! Uy! Thank you, Flor and Flor. Flor and Flor.
Pulo sila mga katrabaho sa Freeman before. Yes. So,
Yes.
salamat kay sa imong time. Sa dili pa mi ni Tony manamilit, imong parting message nyo para sa mga Filipinos nga gusto mo abroad or para sa mga Filipinos abroad nga naka-experience o struggle, no? Unsa imong mensahe nga gusto nimong ihatag nila?
Ano lang, life is always a struggle, whether wherever you are, nakas Pilipinas, or you want to be somewhere else, like the US or any other place in Europe. Ano lang na siya, life always positions itself as challenging. So for me, I think the most important thing is to have a good attitude about it. So attitude is everything. And hang on to your faith. Kasi that's the one that gives us strength. If we don't have faith, we will rely on our own energies. It's hard. I'm sure you will be crazy. You will likely go crazy. Crazy magahika if you have a larger than you kind of faith. Kung ikaw ra isa, it's gonna be tough. So have a good attitude towards life and love yourself and establish good friends who are supportive of you, and in the same way you are supportive too, para mutual. And don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Keep the faith. And sa CCTN or sa akong Catholic upbringing, even if Catholicism is conservative, the values of faith, hope, and love, I have put that in my heart, and somehow I think it has helped me through. So mo lang sana akong ikasulti, hopefully ma-inspire ang mga naminaw. Like we all have our challenges. It's a matter of having a good attitude and faith. Thank you.
Yeah, salamat kaayo mo sa imong time, Berno. Mao ni siya, Brad Tony, kaning mga empowered nga mga babay, no?
Thank you, Vine. You're empowered yourself. And Tony too, very empowered.
Bisan asa na doon sa kalibutan mo, Excel. Imong parting message, Brad Tony?
So karon Divine, lain na usab ang atong nadiskubrihan yan nakahibaw na butag sa iyang journey. Sa matag episode nato, doon na tayong mga nakatunan nga istorya. I agree with Marvek. Mariver, life is a journey, life is a struggle. It's only a matter for us on how to deal with. So sa sunod na usab nga higayon sa atong programa sa Pinoy Journey, Divine.
Okay, salamat kay Brad Tony ug Mariver, thank you ka sa imong time na despite sa imong ka-busy, no, ni hatag ka og time nato diri sa CCTN. I think ang atong mga viewers sa CCTN nalipay, no, nga finally nakakita sila nimo, and of course kanang very inspiring. Very inspiring kaayo ang imong gi-share. Hinaut unta nga dunay dako nga nakatunan, dako nga nakuhang leksyon, no, ang atong mga nagtan-aw karon. Sa tanan natong mga na-invite nga mga guests din his Pinoy Journeys, Brad Tony, makita nako nga sa tanang struggle na gyud ang faith, no? Ilang faith ni Lord nga maoy nakapalig-on nila nga naka-cope up sila, no, whatever ang ilang naagian bisan sa kalisod sa ilang journey nga naagian. So I agree nga depende ra gyud na nato unsaon nato pagdawat, no, ang unsaon nato paglabang ang maong struggle. So thank you kaayo Mariver sa imong time. Unya,
Thank you.
Kaayo, no, we are so proud of you. Salamat kaayo and congratulations in advance. Puhon mo
Thank you.
Sa kadakong dungog, no, sa mga Filipino o sa mga Cebuano ang mga accomplishment nga imong nahimo diha sa New York. So daghan salamat sa inyong pagpakiguban. Thank you kay for sharing your stories sa Pinoy Journeys. Ato na lang invite on Brad to, no, ang atong mga televiewers sa sunod semana sa pagpakiguban na usab sa atong tulunmanon CCTN International Pinoy Journeys. Good morning kanakong tanan.
Usa ka pagtuo, usa ka tingog, usa ka katawhan. Cebu Catholic Television Network.